Welcome back to Lyra Pulse, where we decode the biggest forces shaping business strategy and consulting. I'm your host Bhakti, and today's episode is timely and essential. Sector by sector analysis: who wins and who loses during geopolitical shocks. From wars and sanctions to trade disputes and regime changes, geopolitical events can make or break entire industries, and consultants often act as early warning systems for their clients. Joining me today, Dhananjay, a global strategy and risk consultant who has helped MNCs navigate complex international disruptions. Welcome, Dhananjay.
Thanks, Bhakti. A critical topic and one that clients are increasingly seeking clarity on.
And we have Abhishek, a market entry and sectoral analyst with deep experience across emerging and frontier markets. Welcome, Abhishek.
Glad to be here, Bhakti. Geopolitical analysis is no longer just a niche topic, it's a core part of the strategy.
To set the stage, Dhananjay, what do you mean by geopolitical shocks?
Well, in consulting, we define them as a sudden or escalating political events that impact economic stability, trade routes, investment flows, or regulatory environments. Think Russia and Ukraine war, US-China trade tension, or even a military coup in a key resource country.
And let's not forget indirect shocks too: sanctions, tariffs, cyber warfare, or diplomatic breakdowns that ripple through supply chain and investor sentiments.
Now let's break this down sector by sector. Who are typical winners and losers during such shocks? Let's start with energy.
Well, energy usually sees mixed impacts. Oil and gas often benefit. Price surges due to supply concerns. During the Ukraine war, for example, energy companies posted record profits. But renewable energy investments might slow down if capital flows are redirected.
Exactly. For oil producing countries or companies, it's temporary windfall. But for energy importing nations or industries reliant on steady prices, it's painful.
How about defense?
Big winner. Defense contractors often see shock surges and government boosts. NATO nations ramped up defense spending post Ukraine, this creating consulting opportunities in procurement, compliance, and supply chain security. Technology and semiconductor.
Well, geopolitical tensions often disrupt the tech sector, especially semiconductors. Think Taiwan's strategic position. But cyber defense startups and AI service tech firms often gain traction in such climates.
True, and companies with China exposure often rethink their strategies. Decoupling is a major theme now. Agriculture and food.
Global food supply chains can get hit. Prices of wheat, sunflower oil, fertilizers soared due to Ukraine war. Agri-tech and rural social solutions become more attractive. We'll focus on travel and tourism now.
Well, travel and tourism is a big loser. Travel bans, safety concerns, visa restrictions all drive tourism number down. Airlines, hospitality chains, and even related logistic players feel the pinch.
The last one is banking and insurance. Well, it depends. Banks with global exposures may face losses, but domestic focused players can benefit from capital inflows. Insurers see spikes in war related claims or geopolitical risk premiums.
Let's talk about the consultant's role. How do consultants help clients reach to such shocks?
Firstly, we run risk mapping and scenario modeling, where the client exposed, what's the direct and second order impact, and then we help them with the supply chain diversification, local compliance reviews, and even exit strategy planning.
And sectoral benchmark, identifying which competitors are pulling ahead or retreating. We also assess country level attractiveness and help position brands for more resilient or neutral geographies.
Can you share any anonymized cases?
Well, surely we can. One client, a large industrial manufacturer, had a 60% of revenue exposed to sanctioned region. We helped redesign their footprint across Southeast Asia, reducing exposure by 40% within 6 months.
We advised a tech firm looking to expand to Eastern Europe, and also after the conflict escalated, we redirected focus to the Baltics and adjusted their pricing model due to current currency fluctuations.
Where do you see the next geopolitical hotspots and sector vulnerabilities?
Asia Pacific tensions, which is where I focus on, especially over Taiwan and South China Asia. They are critical. Supply chains in semiconductors, electronics, and shipping could be faced disruptors.
Also, Africa is a growing strategic role in rare earths and energy will draw global attention. consultants will need to focus on ESG, political risk insurance, and local partnerships.
In a world that's anything but predictable, understanding how different sectors react to geopolitical shocks is no longer optional. It's a strategic imperative. Thank you, Dhananjay and Abhishek, for these powerful insights. To our listeners, if you find this useful, subscribe to Lyra Pulse for more in depth discussions on how consulting intersects with real world complexities. Until next time, stay alert and stay analytical.